The following program is a presentation of the Civil War Broadcasting Network, available on the free YouTube channel General Grant by himself, or Dr. E.C. Fields, on the Facebook page Kurt Fields as General Ulysses S. Grant, and on various other social media. This program is one of those presentations in the ongoing series General Grant Looks at the American Civil War, wherein General Grant reflects about a person, place, or event in the Civil War for observation and thought. Permission to copy and distribute is given and indeed encouraged. Remember, you are the future of our past. General Grant would also like to extend his sincere appreciation to Dr. Marie Kelsey of the Ulysses S. Grant Information Center and Mr. David Nolan of the Ulysses S. Grant Presidential Library at Mississippi State University for their grateful contribution to this program. And now, General Grant. I am Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant, and today I should like to reflect with you about today. On Wednesday, March the 9th of 1864, President Lincoln conferred upon me the rank of Lieutenant General of the Army. It was done at about 1 o'clock in the afternoon at the Executive Mansion. Those people present were, other than the President, his Secretary John Hay, and Mr. Lovejoy, who represented the House of Representatives, Major General Henry Halleck, my son Fred, my staff John A. Rawlins, and Colonel Cyrus Comstock, who had accompanied me, and the cabinet. It was a brief ceremony, and I should like to relate to you exactly what was said. At the appointed time, the president rose and got the attention of the small group and made this statement. General Grant, the nation's appreciation of what you have done and its reliance upon you for what remains to be done in the existing great struggle are now presented with this commission constituting you Lieutenant General in the Army of the United States. With this high honor devolves upon you also a corresponding responsibility. As the country herein trusts you, so, under God, it will sustain you. I scarcely need to add that with what I here speak for the nation goes my own hearty concurrence. 4 sentences and 96 words. Last night, or the night before, Tuesday, March the 8th, when I met with the President at the Executive Mansion at the ball held there, the President spoke with me in private and told me that he should like for me to say something to address the egos and hopes and past actions of the soldiers and the command staff of the Army of the Potomac to assuage and ease any perhaps feelings, perhaps of turbulence, animosity, angst on a Westerner coming from outside of the theater to take command. And he said he should like to have me address those issues. He also gave me his statement that I just read and said perhaps I would like to have that to also model what I would have to say in acceptance. I went back to the Willard Hotel that night and with pencil and paper wrote my 3-sentence response. I did not address either of the two topics that the President had specifically asked me to address. He never mentioned that, though, at any time afterward. My response, though, in accepting the commission of Lieutenant General was, Mr. President, I accept the commission with gratitude for the high honor conferred. With the aid of the noble armies that have fought in so many fields for our common country, it will be my earnest endeavor not to disappoint your expectations. I feel the full weight of the responsibilities now devolving upon me, and I know that if they are met, it will be due to those armies, and above all, to the favor of that providence which leads both nations and men. And my reply to his 4 sentences and 96 words was but 3 sentences and 95 words. And I was the Lieutenant General of the United States Army, the first person to hold such rank since George Washington in 1798. Now, General Winfield Scott had held that rank in brevet as an honorary title. He never actually held the command. General Halleck pointed out to the President and myself that while I was Lieutenant General, the only one in the Army, I was the highest ranking officer in the Army, I was not the commanding officer of all the armies. That was a formality that needed to be addressed. So the President on March 10th issued the following order that was issued to the armies on March 17th. But the President said, in pursuance of the following order of the President, the Executive Mansion, Washington, D.C., March 10th, 1864. General Orders Number 1. Under the authority of the Act of Congress to revive the grade of Lieutenant General in the United States Army, approved February 29th, 1864. Lieutenant General Ulysses S. Grant, USA, is assigned to command of the armies of the United States. Abraham Lincoln. To which addendum I issued, saying, I assume command of the armies of the United States. Headquarters will be in the field, and until further orders will be with the Army of the Potomac. There will be an office headquarters in Washington, D.C., to which all communications will be sent, except those from the Army where headquarters are at the date of their address. U.S. Grant, Lieutenant General. So I was, by order to the armies, the commanding officer for all armies of the United States. That occurred on Wednesday, March the 9th of 1864. And that is quite enough for this reflection with you to commemorate what took place on March the 9th of 1864. Thank you.